Welcome back. This is the final hour of today, and this Women's Month, we have been highlighting the great work being done by all the wonderful women across the country. One of them is Masingita Shivambu, famously known as Ntombhi Ya Mutsonga. She's a multi-award-winning praise poet, author, cultural activist who's on a mission to promote arts and cultural identity. She is the first ever Xitsonga praise poet to usher in the president, that's Cyril Ramaphosa, at the State of the Nation address. She'll tell us about that experience in a moment, but this week she performed for world leaders at the BRICS Summit and will do so for us today. How lucky we are. Thank you very much for joining us in studio. And everybody's obviously wondering what that experience was like at the State of the Nation address. And you've been given this task, which one would assume is a magnitude task, to usher in the head of state.
Shawani, and thank you so much for having me. The experience was incredible. You know, I started poetry when I was 14 years old, and it has been quite a journey. So we started at church, Sunday school vibes, and I would perform at family gatherings. And, you know, 2019, that's when I got a call that I've been selected to usher the president at the State of the Nation address. And I couldn't believe it, you know. At the first call, I was like, no, it's not happening. But then I started to comprehend after the second call that actually it is happening. The experience has launched me to the nation. You know, it has introduced me. The recognition after was incredible. And performing for the world leaders, sure, a dream, a village dream realized. It was really incredible. I learned a lot from it. Very inspiring because I got to meet like a lot of different artists. You know, we were just like I was just in a room full of greatness, and I've learned a lot from it.
Yeah, and I mean, you're great too. Right? And another thing that's great about you is that you're all about promoting indigenous language and culture. And you've actually written a book here as well with different poems, which I must tell the viewer are all in Xitsonga, authentic Xitsonga. And why is it so important to promote cultural indigenous cultures, but also the promotion of languages and the holding on to the spoken word of different cultures?
I believe that arts and culture are reflections of who we are. You know, they tell our stories. They help us, like, we get to tell our stories more authentically and the best way we know how. And they foster a sense of belonging. So it is very, very important. And also with writing, I'm very passionate about imparting knowledge. So I thought, other than just recording my poems, why can't I just put them together? Even though it hasn't been like an easy journey putting them together, because Shawani is a collection of 55 Xitsonga poems, and they vary, you know, they address different social ills, you know, but mostly I focus more on the cultural and identity crisis that we face as a nation, to say, let's go back to our roots. Let's embrace who we are, you know, and let's be proud of our vernacular, indigenous knowledge systems.
How difficult was it for you to pen these into a book? And the reason I ask this question, Masingita, is because a lot of people our age don't speak their home language any longer. It's either English or where the world is moving, where it's Chinese or French or whatever it is, but you can never get a young person, or many still, who are able to speak their home language. So how difficult was it for you to put this together, and the help that you needed to make sure that you were able to authentically put these poems together?
It was difficult, but I think what assisted me is that I read a lot. I've got so many books that I've got a whole lot of Xitsonga idioms. So I familiarized myself with that, and I did my research, you know. But I think that with poetry, you know, just my journey, it has been easy because I met the right people that helped me, you know, find me and understand that this is the message that I want to send out to the world, because anyone can publish a book, but I mean, what is it that I wanted to share to the world? So, yeah, and you see, you mentioned something, and I think it's one of the problems that I face, to say, you are young, what are you doing in this cultural, you know, so, but that should be the inspiration to say, I am young and I'm doing it. So we don't have to be old for us to embrace our culture and preserve our indigenous languages. So as young as I am, I can do it, and we all can.
Yes.
And it shouldn't wait for Heritage Month, you know, Africa month for us to dress up like this.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. You also have a foundation called Ntombhi Ya Mutsonga, and I just want to know if that's part of what forms the foundation, that it's a reminder of who you are and preserving it. And apart from that, what else is it that the foundation does?
Definitely. Ntombhi Ya Mutsonga Foundation was established on the dire need to preserve language, to promote arts and cultural identity. We've got book donation drives where we, you know, when we donate books, but also we hosted our first annual Indigenous Language Chimp Awards on the 16th of June, and that was aimed at honoring people that are contributing to the preservation of indigenous languages and cultural identity. So yes, the foundation is a representation of who I am, you know, what I do, basically.
Yeah. How do I say goodbye, Xitsonga? Because the producer explicitly said, I have to greet you, but I got so nervous. I forgot to say Absheni, and now I'm going to have to say goodbye before we introduce you to perform for us.
Oh, well, you can just say, I can, Misalakahle.
Maybe I should just stick to Chivenda for now. But that is Masingita Shivambu, known as Ntombhi Ya Mutsonga, joining us in studio. And the president got to hear her praise singing, and so did world leaders at the BRIC Summit. You're going to get a taste of that too, straight after the break. And from myself, Rofhiwa Madzena, and the rest of the Today team, it's goodbye and enjoy the performance.